Hello, welcome to my Ghost of Thornton Hall walkthrough. This is part 1. And we still have our menu like this. Yeah, I don't know if I really want to say anything before I get started, but this game is really fun. It's pretty scary. Not as scary to me as Shadow at the Water's Edge. That one is the scariest game for sure, in my opinion, but this is a close second. Definitely has some spookiness. Really fun to play like around Halloween. I've probably played this game, well, this game and Sea of Darkness I've probably played the most out of the games from like Tomb of the Lost Queen to current. I've played this one a lot, so I'm excited to do this walkthrough. So let's get started.
What time is it?
Late.
Savannah? Is that you? What's wrong?
I got a case for you.
Can it wait until later?
I'm sorry, it can't. There's been a kidnapping. A girl just a little older than you.
Shouldn't the police be taking care of this?
There's only so much they can do, and she needs to be found before something bad happens.
What do you mean?
The call came in for me, but I can't go. Thornton Hall is a dangerous place for people like me.
Ghost hunters, you mean? So people think it's haunted?
They know. Jesslyn needs someone who ain't afraid to run after her. That ain't me. What I'm asking of you is dangerous.
After everything you did for me in Japan, I'll do it.
Thank you. Drive to the airport now. I'll arrange a ticket. And Nancy, I didn't call you just because you're a good detective. I called you because you're a skeptic. Thornton Hall is no place for anyone who believes.
Then you called the right detective.
I'm serious. You think long and hard about that before you get on that plane. If what you find on the island is going to get to you, don't go. Stay home.
Don't worry, I'm on the case.
You sure about this?
I am.
Watch yourself around the Thorntons. They earned their bad reputation.
Well, thanks for being concerned. I should be okay.
Well, it depends who's here. Hope for your sake Wade's not skulking around. Or that loony bin reject Harper. But it's Charlotte you best watch for. Black Rock Island belongs to her now. Has ever since the night the fire took her. Take care now.
Okay, creepy warning from the ferryman. And some creepy music already starting. So we get a call from Savannah, who we know Savannah from Shadow at the Water's Edge. She's a phone contact, and she wants us to help find Jesselyn, who is the missing girl. And Savannah has a connection to Thornton Hall that we will find out as the game progresses. But yeah, so that's where we're at.
Jesselyn?
Excuse me?
Sorry. Of course you're not. I'm just tired.
No, don't be. I'm Nancy.
You're here to help?
Savannah Woodham called me in. She seems to think there's a supernatural explanation to Jesselyn's disappearance.
A couple of days back, that would have earned an eye roll. I'm Colton, the fiancé. Welcome to Thornton Hall. I'd extend you all the courtesies of the Thornton clan, but we seem to be about 20 years too late for that. You might need this. I found it in the house.
Is this Jesselyn's?
Yeah. It's dead, though. And the charger got mangled by something. Maybe you could channel all that inquisitive energy into seeing if you can get that old phone back up and running.
Were you and Jesselyn getting married soon?
Yes?
Any chance this is just pre-wedding jitters?
She might have had second thoughts about the wedding. Trust me, everyone does. But she never let anyone worry about her like this. She loved her family more than anything.
Is it safe to assume you had second thoughts about the wedding?
I never said that.
True, but you implied it. You said, "Trust me, everyone does."
I know. I remember it like it was just moments ago.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Not answering our question. Okay, I realized too, something that the game doesn't really explain is, this house looks very abandoned because it is. It's like the Thornton's old house, but because of some tragedies, they don't live there anymore. So now it's just this abandoned, creepy place. Okay, so he gave us Jesselyn's phone, which is dead. We'll have to find a way to charge that. First, let's talk to Clara.
You must be Nancy.
Yes, you must be Clara, Jesselyn's mother.
Yes.
I want you to know that I'm here to help you with anything you need.
That's real sweet, hon.
I know you may not want me here since you didn't actually call me yourself.
So long as you help me find Jesselyn, you're welcome under what's left of my roof here.
Who did Jesselyn come here with?
Addison. I tried talking to her, but she was a wreck. Here.
Addison Hammond is Jesselyn's friend, who the two of them were together when Jesselyn disappeared.
She'll have calmed down a bit by now. I hope.
What do you think happened to Jesselyn?
You wouldn't know by the look of this dump, but we're worth a great deal of money. Well, that's what I thought this was. But then, no, not yet at least. I can't believe I'm praying for a ransom note to show up. It's like someone's trying to punish us.
Why do you say that?
Thornton Hall was once something truly beautiful, but so much greed and tragedy built up in these walls that when they started to crumble, I wanted to save this place, make it mine, but I couldn't. So whoever took Jessie wanted us to sit here in this broken-down old house waiting for her.
Is there any chance Jesselyn's disappearance could be cold feet?
My Jessie would never put her family through this nightmare, never.
Were things good between Colton and Jesselyn?
They had their rows and their romantic dinners, same as any couple. Colton had well, hon, he had some issues, but they worked through them.
Why is everyone here? Shouldn't we be out searching for Jesselyn?
I closed down the company. The entire staff is out combing the woods. I said, sit home or join the search. You get paid either way. Not a soul stayed home. Jesselyn grew up in the business. She's got a lot of people looking out for her. I can be thankful for that. The police recommended a presence here. They said we'd have a better chance of noticing if something was off here, knowing the place and all.
You mentioned that Colton had some issues. What did you mean?
To put it delicately, family issues. Never you mind. It has nothing to do with what's going on now.
See you later.
See you later, hon.
So Clara mentioned the company, and I don't really know what the company is, but they have factory workers, and that's who she said they're all out combing the woods. And again, the company used to be based here on this island, but I don't think it is anymore. The island has kind of been, like, abandoned. Or, like, uninhabited for a long time. Okay, this book is about female secret agents of the Civil War. There are a couple of puzzles later on where we'll need to look at this. And I will actually read this. So this is about... So Black Rock Island is the island we're on. So it's a story about the island. The long, cold night on Black Rock. The years of plenty would soon be upon the Thornton clan, but they would not come without a price. In order to keep a close watch on the production facility, Jeb had a small factory built on the Black Rock property. He did not foresee the potentially disastrous possibilities. Jeb is one of the Thornton ancestors. When the winds grew cold and the waves made passage back to the mainland difficult, the workers were granted permission to stay overnight in the factory. And then this next part is blacked out, so we don't know, but it says none survived. So all the factory workers died here on Black Rock Island. For something happened, but we don't know what. Sarah was the first to enter the factory the morning after the accident and never recovered from the shock of what she found within. Many within the town held Sarah in high regard for her kind, open nature. The employees in particular had an unwavering appreciation for Sarah, who had taken on the role of caregiver once the factory moved onto the island, affectionately calling her Nana. That will be important later on. She'd visit the factory twice a day with bread and treats, even offering a warm bed in the main house to any employee who fell ill. Shortly after the tragedy, Jeb began construction of a housing unit for inclement weather and immediately restaffed the factory despite Sarah's wishes. So basically they built up the factory again on the island and restaffed it. While Jeb seemed justifiably upset, he was determined to maintain the family business no matter what. When the new employees arrived on the island, Sarah retired to her room, refusing to leave until her death a few years later. It's been said that a handwritten note found in her pocket read, "We have sown the black seeds of death, and forevermore will harvest only blood." Evidence suggests that this note may have been fabricated, but the chilling message remains a popular element of Thornton lore. Jeb was hit hard by the loss of his wife, but remained steadfast in his attempts to grow the family business into something worth the tragic cost of the lives it had taken. Jeb's drive became somewhat of a family trait after his passing a few years later, as did Sarah's discomfort with the business. In the generations to come, a dogged dedication to the company or queasiness with their ill-gotten wealth became the two defining characteristics of the Thornton clan. Even the most beloved family members eventually had to choose a side. Thornton Hall, 1866. So, the Thorntons have a very dark history, which we will find more about. We're going to take these oranges to help charge up the phone, a napkin, and we can make tea, which is fun. Okay. Oh, wait. I do want to look here. So this is Jeb Thornton and Sarah Emma Wakeman, his wife, which is the two that the story was about. So now I'm going to go up the stairs.
It looks like the painting is missing.
There's a missing painting. And this is where we will be sleeping on this sleeping bag. Jackson Thornton, the Thorntons of Black Rock Island. I guess I'll probably read that later, actually. I'll read that later. Mariana Thornton. Later on, we'll get to see a family tree, and that will help to help us figure out how everyone is related. A door at the end of the hall.
What's that smudge? It almost looks like something was painted over.
Okay, this is a painting of, I think that's supposed to be Clara. And we need to get the smudges off to see what's in the background. But yeah, then there's this door at the end of the hall, which is locked. What else? Go here, Beauregard Thornton. And then here's like a warehouse, or like a basement, not basement, garage type looking place. I don't know. We got some turpentine, paint thinner, so we can use this to look at that painting upstairs. And then we need pennies. So this manual tells us how to charge things with fruit. So oranges, and a copper coin and one nail into each fruit. Connect all the fruit together in a row by attaching a positive terminal clip. Okay. So, we need nails and pennies.
This must be the missing painting.
can put that where it's supposed to go. This picker thing, cotton picker. Thornton family cotton processing. Oh, okay, so it's cotton. Duh, that makes sense. Because we're in the South. This door is from the barn that housed the equipment for processing the cotton. Many a worker lost their fingers in the processing room. Creepy. Okay, we need this spade. Okay, I'm looking for a hammer.
I need to find something to remove these nails.
But I don't remember where the hammer is. Actually, wait, I think I do remember. And then also, some pennies. We'll use that later. Okay. Whoa. So the haunting begins. Weird stuff starts happening. Okay, here's the hammer. I was like, I know the hammer is somewhere. Okay, I'm just gonna start charging Jessalyn's phone. Okay, so
Time to recharge the battery.
Pennies, nails, and
All
then-
right. Let's see if all those oranges did the trick. It's not charged yet.
Okay, we have to wait for it to charge. I am going to meet the other character here by going to the cemetery.
Hey! You're not Savannah.
No, but you must be Wade.
Is she with you? Are you the new assistant? What's his name, get canned or something?
Logan? I don't know. All I know is that she thought I'd be the right person for the case. She's not coming.
What did you just say?
She said she was sorry to send me, but nothing could get her to come here.
I never took her for a coward.
Well, she seemed pretty scared of the ghosts.
Ghosts? No, that ain't it. She's scared of seeing me. I hope Savannah understands the mess she dropped you in.
I can handle myself just fine.
You're just a kid.
You could say the same thing about Jessalyn.
True enough. Say what suits you. Won't make the nights around here any shorter. Anyway, Savannah had a package sent. I guess it must be for you. It's up in the house.
Okay, we talked to Wade about a lot of things. I'm gonna ask him
Who else is here?
Clara, that's Jessalyn's mother. Colton, her fiancé.
Anyone else?
Depends what you mean by anyone.
Any other alive or verifiably real people?
No.
Okay. And if it wasn't clear, Wade is the one who called Savannah because he wanted Savannah's help to find Jessalyn, but Savannah called Nancy instead because she's like, I'm not going there. And Wade is cousins with Clara. So Clara is Jessalyn's mom. Clara and Wade are cousins. He probably is about to tell us
What's
that.
Clara's relationship to
Right
the
now.
rest of the family?
My cousin?
Yeah, okay.
Harper and Charlotte's cousin. She lived with the girls after her mama passed.
So we'll find out more about this, but Clara, Wade, Harper, and Charlotte are all cousins, or were all cousins. Harper and Charlotte are sisters. And Clara's mom passed. She never knew who her dad was, so she went to live with Harper and Charlotte when she was a girl.
What do you think of Colton?
I do not like that shifty little punk, but I have said that about all Jesse's boyfriends. With him, I mean it a little extra. Something's crooked with the two of them together. I don't know if she can see it or not.
Who runs the family company?
Clara?
Do you think that's fair?
No.
Would you like to run the company?
Good, sweet nonsense, no. Do not even imply that I'm after that to anyone.
From what I understand, the Thornton family business is very successful.
Yep. We got money and all the trouble that buys.
Do you know Savannah?
I did, once.
And now?
And now I don't.
How did you meet Savannah?
We went to the same bookstore.
You don't seem like the type.
I'll take that as a compliment and an insult.
How long ago was this?
A while. Gone now. It was a little old dark place. Carried these musty old books. Stuff that didn't exist anywhere else.
What kind of stuff?
All sorts. But I was there researching our family. Savannah had this way of reading, like there was something she needed to know real bad. One day I finally asked, "What is it you need to know so bad?" You know what she said?
What?
Nothing. She handed over the book she was reading and walked out. At first, I'm feeling a touch rejected. But then I look at the book.
What was the book?
That was the crazy thing. It was the Thornton family book of names. Births, deaths, marriage, and so on, going way back.
Why would she have that?
Why, indeed. I had to know. Took me some doing, but I tracked her down.
So you met Savannah because she was trying to find Charlotte's ghost?
One of those people who met her was Savannah. Ask her, and maybe she'll tell you about it. After that, she became obsessed with Thornton Hall. We got to know each other. I fell for her like a Black Tuesday banker. In the end, the landing was just as rough.
You said you were researching the family. Why?
After Charlotte died, that's when something I always knew came out shining so bright, I finally had to admit it. Long as it's been growing, the Thornton family tree's been split down the middle. The evil roots always trying to strangle out the good. I used to think I was on the side of good.
And now?
What do you think?
I think you are.
Don't be so sure.
Why aren't you in the house?
I'm only on the island because Jesselyn's missing. Nothing's gonna get me in that house.
Does anyone actually live here?
No one lives out on the island, but just on the shore.
Were you close to Jesselyn?
Everyone was. Everyone is. She's the bright spot of happiness in this whole miserable family.
What did you mean about the family being split in two?
You wouldn't know by looking around here, seeing the state we're in, but we're loaded.
What's that have to do with anything?
The Thornton family bought its money with blood, and not always our own.
And you think one part of the family had more to do with this than the other?
I don't speak ill of the dead, especially not when they're staring up at the soles of my boots. Look around. You'll see.
See you later.
Bye.
Okay, I will, explore the cemetery later. Scavenger list, 21 items to search and find. Okay, so we found out a couple things. Charlotte is, Jesselyn, well, Claire's cousin who died at some point a long time ago. And now her ghost supposedly haunts the island. Savannah thinks that Charlotte's ghost took Jesselyn. So that's why we're here. And I'm gonna read this, or I'm gonna look at this package that Savannah gave us. A EMF reader, which we learned about in Shadow of the Water's Edge. Basically, it measures ghostly activity. Okay, Nancy, here's some of my old paperwork from when I was looking into Charlotte myself. I know you're going to be looking for Jesselyn during the day, but night is the best time to investigate the family. That's when the spirits get restless in more ways than one. You'll probably get more out of the family then anyway. The EMF gadget I included works pretty well on the property. I don't normally use these, but there's a strong correlation between the meter peaking and documented sightings. I know you don't like things that can't be explained, but just because it can't be explained yet doesn't mean you should disregard it. Call me if you want to talk. I don't know what help I can offer, but I'm there if you need me. Good luck, Savannah. Okay, these are all creepy accounts about Charlotte, which I guess I'll read. So, March 4th, subject is swimmer. Visual oral contact with the ghost, and it was a near-death experience. I was 14, my younger brother was about 12 at the time. I was a bit of a scrawny kid and caught more than my fair share of trouble on account of being the smallest. But I was no coward, and I was itching to prove it. That's when I caught wind of Charlotte. I got it in my head that if I spent the night out at the island, the kids at school would leave me alone. Doesn't make sense now, but it made a lot of sense then. I made this big deal about sneaking onto the island, and everyone was interested, especially my younger brother, Sean. He demanded to come, and to be honest, I was happy to have the company. We spent a while trying to get a boat, but no one wanted to lend a boat to two kids in the middle of the night. Go figure, right? But I knew if I didn't make it out there, I'd never hear the end of it. I'd made too big a deal out of the whole thing. I was locked in. That's when I decided that we should swim over. Anyone who grew up here knows you don't do that. The swim's not far, but the currents, they'll smash you on the rocks or they'll pull you under. And that's exactly what happened to Sean. 1 second he was next to me and the next, gone. I panicked and dove into the water. Nothing. Again and again, nothing. But it turns out he was fine. He made it to the shore. I was the one in trouble. I kept going under until I got disoriented. I couldn't find which way was up. I knew that was it for me. I knew I was going to die. But I could feel the fight going out of me. That's when I heard singing. The water around me went still, and a song started swimming its way around me, pulling me toward this thing, this woman, Charlotte. The water was ice cold, and she was turning it to steam. Smoke was pouring from her like ink under the water. I knew I couldn't die down there. I knew I had to get out of the water. I don't know what happened next. I woke up on the rocks, then in the hospital. I never saw her again. I've spent the rest of my life trying not to look. April 10th. Subject is Tagger. Oral phantom smoke, no eye contact, possibly unreliable or not telling entire story. Yeah, I saw her. It doesn't matter why I was there. Let's just say I'm an artist, underappreciated in my time and by the powers that be. I was out with a few writers I like to run with. Out in the ruins, someone was working on her stuff like she always did, a little cute for my taste, but she is who she is. Suddenly, she drops everything and is like, we gotta go right now. She said it like, no drill, just run. We grabbed her stuff and we ran. As we were going, there wasn't smoke, but we were all choking like there was, and we could all smell a fire, and in the distance we heard screaming. I wanted to go back, but Elle told me that what we heard wasn't human. We all knew she was right. We got off the island, that's all it was. Subject, old friend, non-haunting, skeptic, mild hesitation. So this is someone who knew Charlotte. I knew her, we came up in school together, she was the smartest, the prettiest, and nice. She didn't need to be, but she was. She talked to everyone about their lives, their friends and families, and she could remember it all. We used to joke that she had the whole town in her head. Maybe it was more true than we thought. When she died, part of the town died with her. I know you want to ask about the hauntings, and rather you than someone else. You know that stuff doesn't sit well with me, but you come from good people. The truth is, she's just gone. Part of me wishes she was a ghost so I could tell her my proper goodbyes. But anyway, that's silly for two reasons, since she's been made up to be such an angry ghost. I've heard the stories just like you did. That's not Charlotte. Not the Charlotte I'd known. There was no evil in her. Savannah, do you think what happened the night she died might have changed that? And the person responded, it was an accident. Savannah, what if it wasn't? The person said, then she's Charlotte. She always was Charlotte. So Charlotte died from some kind of accident. And, okay. So we got some more information there.
Still have to do that.
Okay. So I think next I'm going to call Addison, who is Jesselyn's friend who was with her when she disappeared.
Hello?
Addison, my name is Nancy Drew. I'm calling to see if you can help me with something.
Is this about Jesselyn?
Yes?
I can't. I'm sorry.
The sooner we can find out what happened to her, the better her chances of survival.
Okay. I'll help with what I can.
How's Jesselyn's relationship with Clara?
Okay, maybe a little strained.
How so?
Jess used to call her Chairman Mom. Behind her back, of course.
Do you think Clara could have anything to do with Jesselyn going missing?
I don't think Jess was afraid of Clara. But still, I can't say for sure.
What do you think of Colton?
What's to think? He's always been decent to me and Jess.
Can you walk me through what happened the night Jesselyn went missing?
She was about to get married, and I think the pressure of it was getting to her. It was supposed to be a night of blowing off some steam. Jess always loved a good scare. She used to make me sneak into scary movies with her when we were kids. So, in a weird way, spending the night searching for a ghost sort of made sense for a bachelorette party. At first, it was really fun. We were running around trying to scare ourselves silly. We were making these recordings like we were on a ghost hunter show. Then, things got strange.
Is there anything you remember that might help me find Jesselyn?
No. Actually, wait. Hang on. Upstairs, there was this door. Jess was desperate to get it open. Between you and me, I was relieved that she couldn't figure it out.
Really? Why?
I could feel eyes on me all night long.
What were you doing at Thornton Hall that night?
A scavenger hunt, but I don't know. There was something strange about it.
In what way?
Jess was looking for something toward the end of the night. Kinda desperately. It stopped being fun. That's all I know.
How was Jesselyn acting that night?
She was classic Jess for most of the night.
Then something happened?
Yeah, we were in the house and suddenly she just screams. And then she's nowhere to be found.
What happened?
I was alone in the house, jumping at every noise, too afraid to move. It felt like hours. Then she came back. She wouldn't say what had happened. She wouldn't even talk to me. She wanted to be left alone. She went downstairs, and that was that.
You said things got strange. What did you mean?
It was her and me up in that freezing house, and I remember thinking, I'll never get to sleep. But then I started to feel fuzzy.
Fuzzy?
Like I was underwater or something. And I noticed Jess was gone again. I wanted to get up and find her, but I couldn't move. It was like this invisible hand was pinning me down. I heard a strange voice. It wasn't Jess. Then it was the morning. I was alone and Jess was gone.
You said you heard a voice.
Charlotte. I'm sure of it.
Did she say anything?
She sang. I only heard a little bit.
The bedroom key is crossed out in the scavenger hunt. Do you know where it is?
No. Jesselyn must have found it, but I couldn't tell you where it is.
Did you notice any secret passages or tunnels while you were at the house?
No, but it was so drafty in there, it would surprise me if there weren't.
Would you consider yourself a believer in the paranormal?
If you'd asked that last week, I would have made some crack about Bigfoot.
And now?
And now I'm going to say that I don't believe. Because I'm afraid if I let myself believe, I'll be opening a door that no one can close.
Goodbye.
Find Jess.